What's up, my beautiful people? Kim here, youth empowerment guru, rapper, and disseminator of information. Now, today's video is about how to keep a mentor. Now, if you haven't already seen the video about how to find a mentor, you need to pause this right now. You need to go back and watch that beautiful work of art, and then you need to come back and see me. All right, welcome back. Boom, let's talk about keeping a mentor. How do you keep a mentor? This is very, very important. Okay? Because mentors can help you out greatly. You keep a mentor by understanding that adults are busy, busy people. Right now, there are other things I should be doing instead of making this video. For example, there's a wildfire happening in my backyard. I'm going to take care of it later. But anyhow, there's things I need to be doing right now. Understanding that adults are busy and asking them when it's convenient for them to talk to you, to engage with you. So for example, if someone wants my time, they want to ask me some questions, pick my brain, a good time for me is when I'm driving. Of course, I'm paying attention to the road, but otherwise I can do other things like change the channel on the radio, look at the sunrise or the sunset depending on the time of day, and also I can have conversations. I have conversations in my car all the time, sometimes with myself, sometimes with other humans. And that's a perfect time for me to engage with someone who wants some of my time. So during my car ride, boom, there you go. You can have 30 minutes of my time. In Atlanta traffic, sometimes it becomes more than that, but that's basically how that works. So here's an example of me implementing this whole idea. There's this guy that I know, he's an entrepreneur, he's very, very successful, and so I wanted some of his time, but I know how busy he is. I know that he has a wife, he has kids, he's got his business, he's got all these other things that he's doing. So I told him, hey, you know what, I know you're busy, but I know your son also plays baseball. Why don't I show up to his baseball game, and then we will have a conversation. So he said, yeah, absolutely. So I show up to the baseball game, he's just sitting there in the stands, and we get to talk for a couple of hours, and that was really cool. So I was able to pick his brain at a time that was really convenient for him, somewhere that he had to be anyways, and I was able to accomplish all the goals that I was looking for. Here's another example of this strategy. So your mentor should have two things going on with themselves. Number one, they should have a job. Number two, they should have a need to eat. If they don't have those two things, you probably don't want them as a mentor, okay? So if they have a job and they have to eat lunch every single day, then you can go up to their job, with their permission, of course, don't show up unannounced, and eat lunch with them, and actually offer to pay for lunch. Now, more than likely, they will not take you up on that offer, but bring enough money just in case, because the last thing you want is for your mentor to be eating, you sit there with no food, they're going to be looking at you, you're going to be looking at them, it's going to be awkward, and that's pretty much the end of the mentorship right there. Okay? Don't do that. Okay? Okay? So I got my first mentor when I first moved out to LA. I was young, I was foolish, but even still, there was this guy who was willing to mentor me. And basically what happened was I lived in Santa Monica, he lived up in Pasadena. These two are not very close to each other. And so my expectation from him was that he was supposed to meet me halfway every single time. Because I said to myself, well, if he cares about me, if he wants to help me, then he needs to meet me halfway. And if he doesn't, maybe he doesn't care. Now that was foolish. It was very foolish. And the thing about it is, he did want to help me, and he did help me a lot, but he had a lot of things going on in his life. I mean, he had a wife, he had other obligations, job stuff, volunteer stuff, all this other stuff, and because of that, he was busy. And it was unrealistic for me to ask him to meet me halfway, and eventually what ended up happening is the mentorship just kind of dissolved because I wasn't grateful, I wasn't appreciative the way I should have been. So I've done some stupid things in my life, and hopefully you guys can learn from my example and not do the same things that I did. So besides valuing your mentor's time and making it convenient for them, what else do you need to do in order to keep your mentor? You need to invest in their life. I know you're like, well, hold on, I gotta invest in my mentor? That's crazy talk. No, it's not crazy talk, because guess what? They're investing in you, and you need to invest back in them, because mentorship is like any other relationship. It goes both ways. You can't just sit here and take from your mentor and never give anything back. So how do you invest in your mentor's life? You look at what they value, you look at what their priorities are, and you make those your priorities too. For example, I can go ahead and tell you a couple things that every mentor is going to value. Number one, their friends and their family. Okay, so what can you do for their friends and their family? Maybe you can babysit their kids or do some yard work for their elderly parents or something along those lines to invest back into their lives. Or also another thing that people value is their jobs, their careers. They think about them all the time. They spend a lot of time there. Maybe you can go in there and help them with some paperwork or do something that makes their job and their life a little easier. And they also probably value their health. So what can you do with that? Maybe you can donate them a kidney and boom, there you go. You done saved a life and made your life a little worse. Okay, maybe that's a bad example. Anyhow, there are things that you can do. Things that you can do and things that you should do in order to make your mentor's life better. Invest back into your mentor's life. Because if you do, that relationship will continue to flourish and your life will become better. But you've got to put in the time and the effort just like they're putting in time and effort. So that's the end of my video. Remember, in order to keep a mentor, you need to do a few things. You need to value their time, you need to make it convenient for them, and you also need to invest in their lives. Okay? So that's it. Hope this is very helpful. I know that when you apply what you learn right here, you will be successful. And if you have any questions or if you have any comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And that is it. Done. Another video wrapped. Bam. All right, that's it. I don't know how to end this, so that's it. Peace out, y'all. Peace.